Hey guys, Jay here and welcome back to the channel. So if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed of all of the different content we provide here. And the content, honestly, from my perspective, if you caught onto Ponky when we caught onto Ponky and you tune into the videos here, you should be doing pretty well at this point in your crypto journey. So it's always worthwhile to check in here time and again. So something that's really sticking out to me is the considerable amount of USTC that is going to burn, regardless of what happens here, regardless of the decisions made by external parties. We have the ability to secure those wallets and blacklist them, regardless of TFL giving us the ability to do that, or them saying, yeah, it's okay, you can go and do that, or the SEC, whatever. We don't need anybody's permission. We're a decentralized ecosystem that make decentralized decisions through governance. So this really now is a situation of figuring out what wallets actually belong to TFL. And a lot of these wallets we've already logged, we've already got them, they're already shown in the LUNC money flow system. And if you didn't know that, a lot of different wallets that are out there, we have them covered on the LUNC system, and it's always there available for everybody moving forward if you want to go and use and utilize that technology. So this is the final judgment, and this is kind of what we've been talking about a lot today. And I said in my previous video, the likelihood is they would delete the space or it wasn't recorded. So it turns out it was recorded, but they went forward and they did delete that space. And I think I saw this coming from a mile off, just because of the simple fact of the admissions that were made during that space were pretty groundbreaking, to say the least, and it could have led to a lot of different articles being written, so to speak, about TFL admitting they're shutting down and they had always intended to shut down. And it's a really interesting space. Do go out and do go and check that out. I'll leave links to it at the end of the video. We did record it and we did upload it here on YouTube for everybody, considering it's publicly broadcasted. So we have a responsibility to ensure that that information is there for everybody else moving forward. But it's really nice to just see how much of a good position LUNC as a blockchain is in. There's so many people who are worried about these funds and them going to somewhere they shouldn't be going. But honestly, just because of the way this community intercommunicated previously with a wallet we wanted blacklisted, and this wallet, for all intent and purposes, we didn't really have a lot of jurisdiction over it. This depends on what perspective you look at this from. Now, we've managed to get together and unite to get that done and dusted before, and this is something that we all agree on, that these funds need to be either burned or blacklisted. And from my perspective, like I've said previously, we shouldn't wait for TFL to maybe help us, to maybe burn those coins, because during this space, the way Chris responded to the coins being burnt seemed like he didn't even know a dead wallet exists. Like it would be a long process of them needing to create a system in order to destroy the coins. So that's definitely something to take notice of, because when someone comes out with a response like, oh, well, maybe we could do that, if it's not a long process, who doesn't know about the process of burning at this point? Even you know about the process of burning at this point, right? Right, exactly. So let's keep moving this forward. And what I want to do is just show you the substantiality of the amount of USTC that is going to burn. And as much as people sit there and they'll probably say it, and honestly, you can agree to disagree, or you can disagree to agree, or you can disagree entirely, that blacklisting funds is the same as burning funds, because we have the ability to remove them from the circulating and total supply. So these are really important points to go off, that burning is all about perception. Just because we have a dead wallet, okay, doesn't differentiate coins being in a wallet that's dead in comparison to being sent to the dead wallet. If that wallet is blacklisted through governance, the only way to get it unblacklisted and to get those tokens used again would be to go through governance. So there's no way, if we blacklist wallets, that they're ever coming back, even if somebody gets the seed phrases for those wallets, because that's the biggest problem about burning the keys, so to speak. God, it's going to be so much nicer when I do video and you can see me doing all of my hand gestures. But all of this, so let's take a look. So you've got we'll do the USTC first. You've got 1.85 billion USTC here. Okay, so now let's flick over to the schedule of digital assets. And I've taken the liberty to go in, and what I've done, just before we go any further into this, there's only a 22% price difference in the price of USTC from February to the current price now. So there's not a huge difference. So the number's not going to be exact, but it's going to be approximately as close as I could probably get it, to be quite honest with you. So let's go back to the schedule of digital assets. So we can see they've got 992 million USTC coins, just over. Okay, 992, add 1.85 billion on, and you're rounding at around 2.7 billion, depending on the fluctuation of price and how much is in there. Because what they've done here is given us the United States dollar value, but they haven't given us the token amount, which I find very interesting, because they gave the token amounts for everything else, but not for these. And it's really interesting, once again, as to the situation that really surrounds the whole USTC and LUNC. So therefore, we can see that there's going to be around 2.7 billion of the USTC supply that is removed from the circulating and total supply, which is identical to it being sent to the dead wallet, because we've already seen this take effect. You've already seen the total supply change from when we blacklisted that previous wallet, right? Right, exactly. So let's keep working from what we know. Let's take a look at the circulating supply. I don't even know why I consistently come to CoinMarketCap for ease for people so they understand things a little bit better, but we do provide all of this on LUNC Dash. So you can see that we've got a circulating supply of 5.7 billion USTC. If you remove 2.7 billion from that, you're left at around a 3 billion USTC supply. This is probably the best thing that could have ever happened to this blockchain, because of a simple fact that USTC is getting into a more and more primed position. The biggest issue with the USTC repeg is having the ability to actually mint USTC to do stuff with, and to introduce all of these systems and refluctuate, so to speak, the market module. So this is going to be really interesting for people like Redline Drifter, for example, who can now go to a CEX and explain to them that the supply is about to go down to around 3 billion USTC. And if you look at the historical, the data, so to speak, which we can grab from LUNC Dash, we can see that the USTC in itself is going to be lower than what it was before the crash. So for me, once again, these are all very positive and very bullish things. We've got some really weird things going on with the APIs at the moment, so don't worry if LUNC Dash is being a little bit funny at times. We're in a very, very weird position at the moment. So once again, we will provide these supplies on LUNC Dash. So they're definitely going to be kept updated. And this is the really important point moving forward, is just understanding the fact that we are in the most uphill position we could ever be in, period. There's no ifs, there's no buts, and there's no coconuts. I don't see there being a huge argument on any of these assets moving forward. Instead, I see a very, very unified approach, because of a simple fact, we all want the same thing. So if we think about how things are going and where things are heading at the moment, we are going to hopefully make the active set bigger. And this is going to start to make the grass greener. Okay, the fact that a lot of USTC is going to be banned and removed from the total and circulating supplies is very bullish. We're turning the lights on. We're showing people, hey, this is somewhere where you might want to pay interest to. And what I would say to everybody is, as Luna starts to go through these teething problems, and they're going to go through teething problems, people are going to think to themselves and probably say to themselves, I just want to be done with this. I just want to move off to somewhere else where there's no argument. They know what they're doing. They know what direction they're heading in, and they've got a development team. And what I think is we're going to be attracting more and more validators back, more and more projects, because if you have a BMW and you want to take the engine from that BMW and put it into a Tesla, you're going to have to do a lot of work in between to enable that engine to work inside a Tesla. Whereas if you're literally going from a BMW to a BMW, it's going to be much easier. There's not going to be as much work in between. You're not going to need to convert stuff and go through the ECU and change a lot of different things. And this is what I'm thinking about when it comes down to how projects, validators, and people are going to be feeling moving forward. And the simple fact is, and this is something I don't think a lot of people picked up on, but I'm going to be doing a video on it, is that the court case in Singapore, somebody asked Chris and said, what's going on with the court case in Singapore? And Chris's answer was, it's basically nothing to do with us, but whoever takes over responsibility of TFL is going to be responsible for seeing that through. So once again, the legalities and all of these legal issues for TFL and for Luna isn't over. For them, they've still got this Singapore issue to deal with. They're still going to have all of the news that surrounds DK, and a lot of the liquidity that they've got is going to take a huge hit on top of all of the different people that are leaving. So once again, I say to everybody in the Luna Classic community, have you ever felt more bullish than right now? Because I have not. I've been loading up my Luna Classic bag, and what I did was I sold 3 high value Pokemon cards and I put 50% of that into Luna Classic, and I'm dollar cost averaging that in over the days as the price starts to fluctuate. But what I think is going to happen is slowly but steadily, we're going to see this price start to move back up. We've never ever been in a position like this as a decentralized blockchain. And I've said this many times before, we inherited the blockchain. We did not create it. We didn't create the ethics and everything that came with it. Instead, we've all had to adapt and mold to this thing. And yes, it's taken a long time. Yes, we've lost a lot of people. And yeah, there's probably a lot of upset people. But let me tell everybody one thing that I do know. Once the price starts to move back up, people love money. And if there's money to be made, they will come flocking back just as quickly as they left. Let me know what you think about all of this. I'll leave links to everything at the end. I'll leave links to Chris Armani's and TFL Space that they deleted off Twitter today. And I'll leave links to our other content that we've been providing here today on the channel. I'm going to be providing some XRP content tomorrow, some LUNC content, and some Ponky content as well. And we're also going to be taking a look at some nice Solana meme coins. Don't forget, we're doing the space on Thursday. And if you've got LUNC, consider delegating with our validator. It goes a long way. It helps us push out products like LUNC Wallet, the metric systems, the auto compounding modules, and all of the amazing things in between. And on top of that, we're bringing an amazing punch to the LUNC community by producing a mini metaverse that is going to be very addictive and that's going to use and utilize LUNC as the native assets as always planned from 2 years ago. The difference is we've been working very quietly and very hard behind the scenes, and that's what all of the validating stuff and what it does for us and what we put it to. Not a grain of that is wasted. It all goes back into the chain so we can all rise together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.